Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021, and this is my astrological outlook for the day. All right, so today we are well on our way through Aries. Today the sun is discharging 5 degrees of Aries. The Sabian symbol of that degree is a triangle with wings. The earth is discharging 5 Libra, a man teaching the true inner knowledge. Now, what's important about today and today's degree of the sun is this degree, a triangle with wings. This is the same degree that was being discharged for the new moon in Aries this past year. So for 2020, our entire cycle was imprinted with the energetic of the sun today, and that degree is a triangle with wings, okay? So a triangle with wings has been the energetic for this entire past new year, the entire past lunar year cycle that started in April of last year or March, and the triangle with wings. So this was all about transcendence, rising above and out of things that we were used to. And that's, very appropriate for the last year of the true age of Pisces, for it to be a triangle with wings, because it really is rising out of one form of something that's been existent for a very long time into another, transcending to a higher form, evolving, forming to a new dimension or perspective. Also, elevated, changing viewpoints, and rising out of or above duality, because it's a triangle. It's got 3 sides with wings, and so it's flying. So this energetic is again in effect today while we are still in the Pisces cycle, because we're in the new moon in Pisces, and that's finishing out. And this boosts the frequency as we close out this lunar year. So we have a compounded opportunity through the double activation of this frequency and light code today to rise above and transcend circumstances rooted in specifically duality and the past old ingrained ways of being, in fallacies and double play of all kinds, manipulation. We can see there are more than 2 choices. There is a third emerging, evolving option. And that's where the triangle with wings has been trying to take us throughout the course of this entire year. So with that energetic being again triggered by the sun today, like I said, it compounds on this frequency that is still in effect, because we're still in the lunar year where this started, and it won't close out until April 11th when we begin this lunar new year in Aries with the new moon in Aries. So as we are closing out this Pisces cycle, the last cycle, and we're in the balsamic phase of the year, which is also all about releasing and letting things go and opening and making way for the new. Now we have an enhanced opportunity today to align with that transcendent, emergent, overcoming, and rising out of, sort of like the phoenix, energetic, to help us move forward into the new world and the coming age of Aquarius and second renaissance that we are rapidly evolving into, and the energetics have been supporting us all along the way. So that is what's going on today with the Sabian symbol of the sun and the energetics in effect with the degrees of the sun and the earth. And as told by the degree of the earth at this degree, 5 Libra, a man teaching the true inner knowledge, that's what we are using as our basis to rise and elevate, as a reconnection to the true inner knowledge. And that is something that has been being emphasized, and we've been encouraged, extremely encouraged, through all of the energetics that have been being discharged lately, to seek inner knowledge, inner guidance, inner truth, and our inner gifts, in order so that we can bring them forward and transcend our circumstances and evolve into the new world, so we can build that. And so that is a theme for the day today, and just something to think about as you go about your day, how you can really rise above circumstances and evolve. Okay. 2, and this is a really big deal that we have going on today. I've been waiting for this over the past few days. I've been talking about it over the past week because it's been evolving and it's been growing closer and closer. And today is the day. So we have exact today the Mercury square Mars from 13 degrees of Pisces to 13 degrees of Gemini. And what makes this extra explosive is that it's conjunct the North Node by a 1 degree orb. The North Node is at 14 Gemini and Mars is at 13 Gemini, and Mercury is squaring from 13 Pisces. And Mars is opposite the South Node at 14 Sagittarius. So the general themes of the Mercury square Mars, like I've been talking about all week, are going to be sort of frustration or aggression or projection or cognitive dissonance, generally just irritation or conflicts or tension around thoughts, words, ideas, the lack of them also. And it's Mars, so it can create really like explosive situations. And with it conjunct the North Node, we have to keep in mind that what is activated and what is created through this Mercury-Mars square is very necessary and is ultimately going to align us with where the North Node is trying to pull us and trying to get us to go towards. And similarly, because the South Node is our karma and Mars is in opposition, it is also going to give us a lot of energy, and conflicts, tensions, things that arise also are going to help us to move away from and release our karma, or move in the opposite direction from patterns and ways that we've been, and belief systems specifically, that have been constricting to us and that have been holding us in a type of bondage to our egos, basically. And that is because of the degree of the South Node, the pyramid, and the Sphinx, the symbology relating to ancient Egypt and the enslavement of the soul, or by the slave master, which is the soul enslaved to the ego, how that translates to in Hermeticism, which is a lot to do with the ancient Egyptian teachings. So we're trying to free ourselves from our ego so that we can transcend into a more pure, true, aligned state with our souls and our soul purposes. And that is what we all need to do in order to build on the new frequencies that are coming into Earth and that universe is asking us to get a handle of in order to create our new reality going forward. So the degrees are 13 Pisces and 13 Gemini. Mercury is thoughts, communication, business, things moving at a really quick speed, messages, information, ideas. All of those things are ruled by Mercury, and Mars, of course, is energy, passion, motivation, willpower, heat, fire, explosive tendencies, battle. All of those things are ruled by Mars. And so those are the two dynamics that we're looking at right now. And Mercury is in Pisces, the sign that asks us to let go of things and to re-merge with spirit. And Mars is in Gemini, the sign that asks us to gather lots of information, to analyze that information, and to communicate that information. Those are basically just very, very broad baseline summaries of the signs that these planets are discharging, or that these planets are currently in. So 13 Pisces, the degree here is a sword used in many battles, is now in a museum. And 13 Gemini, where Mars is currently located, a famous pianist giving a concert performance. So when I was analyzing this morning, these are the themes. This is what I wrote. This is what I kind of came up with. Overall, I think this is telling us that a sharp mind and mental fortitude can bring forth our greatness to the public stage. That's kind of the highest octave of what this square could produce if we're operating from a place of self analysis and self understanding and self control. However, you know, a sword used in many battles is now in a museum. That's a sharp weapon a weapon that's been used many times, now being laid down, put down, no longer in use. So, and it's Mercury. So put down using words as weapons. Retire from the mental battles and conflicts and the typical mental strategies of winning and simply perform the symphony of your soul. Use your energy to put your skills on display and into practice. And this fuels and motivates our destiny, the North Node, and helps us see, overcome, release, and move away from karmic patterns as we embrace our potential and harness the songs of our spirit. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. We also need to keep in mind, with Mercury at the degree of a sword, used in many battles, in a square to Mars, the planet of battles, there could be a lot of wars of words going on the next few days. Well, today and tomorrow, as this transit is in effect. But really, we have to remember that the conflict with squares is always trying to get us to evolve to the next, to a greater understanding so that we can, achieve peace and evolution. And so Mars is trying to get us to perfect our energies so that we can use them to publicly perform a service or provide a show or entertain, like I've been saying the whole time. That degree couldn't be more on point with the overall message that's been being conveyed for weeks now by various degrees and various planets. Perfect your inner gifts so that you can perform, give of yourself, right? And that's how we create the new world. We bring what we have, our talents, what we've refined, what we've perfected in ourselves. We cultivate those and bring them out, and then we perform them, we serve them, we give them to others so that they may receive whatever benefit they receive from us. And in turn, that's how we create our new lifestyles. That's how we create our self-sustainable systems, our families that are not reliant upon all of the external structures that have been set in place that are really not going to be around much longer, most likely, once we start going through this transition. So, this Mercury Mars, and we have to remember, it's extra important because it's Mercury and Mars is in Gemini. So the North Node is in Gemini. So the North Node, destiny, the destiny point, and Mars, action, willpower, force, dynamism, power, passion, they're right next to each other. Tomorrow, actually, Mars will move to conjunct the North Node, and that is going to be, watch, when that happens, we're going to see some explosive events happening worldwide, and it's really going to kick off and jumpstart the transition that's coming with the new moon on April 11th. And the true entrance into Second Renaissance and the Age of Aquarius. But this square today is just so important because Mars and the North Node, both in Gemini, squaring exactly Mercury, who is the ruler of Gemini. So it's all about Mercury today, and Mercury is saying, put down the sword. Whatever you've been using over and over again, whatever strategy or weapon or technique that you've been using consistently to try to achieve some type of result, it's time to put that away, especially when it comes to thought processes. Retired, overdone no longer relevant, no longer effective thought processes need to be put away because those can lead to serious conflict. That's what this is saying. If we continue to use the same weapons and strategies mentally to get ahead, because swords also are associated with air and the mental frequency. So we really need to change the way we think about things. And if we don't, there's going to be a lot of conflict, a lot of battle, and we won't be able to perform as effectively as the universe would like us to. And especially considering how crucial this is in terms of our destiny, because it's right there with the destiny point. It couldn't be more important for us to retire our old mental tactics and strategies and cultivate our talent and potential and then put it on display for the world. That is what this is saying. That's just the message. And this is a big aspect. So watch for explosive communication, verbal battles, fights, just conflict generally, tension, frustration. All of those things are really ripe today, just in terms of the energetic resonance that's going on and the frequencies being activated, as above and so below. And so just to keep in mind, this is a big day, and anything that does happen is working to move you more towards your destiny. Any fights that happen, and just remember too, if you're feeling that kind of like pent up frustration and stuff like that, especially, over any type of communication or information or hearing things or noises coming in or just people talking to you, whatever, just try not to let the frustration build to a point where you feel like you're going to explode. Try to use that energy more creatively. There's also writing and crafting very like dynamic and explosive pieces of writing and literature or verbal monologues, very good energy for that as well. If you have a speech to give, if you have an important paper to write, it might be very challenging to get that done during under this energetic, but it can be really, really good, especially with still the trine. Mars is still in trine to Saturn, and I'm really bummed because I had to take the last couple days off and I missed the Mars Saturn trine, and I feel like that's a big deal. So I think I'm going to do a separate video just on that, but we are over that now, but that energy is still in effect. So any written works or any really things that take a lot of thought and energy right now are seriously super supported for long-term success, and you should work on projects that require mental energy. It's a good positive use for this aspect. And anything that you do create right now that is requiring mental energy and it will have a lot of endurance, and it will propel you towards your destiny because of that North Node. Anything you create right now that you're passionate about, that involves your mind and communicating, is going to carry you forward into your future and be very enduring and long lasting. And just to reiterate one more time, just because I can't say this enough, with the degree of Saturn, 11 Aquarius, in a quiet moment, a man receives a divine inspiration that may change his life. And then we have Mars in trine, a famous pianist giving a concert performance. And then it's Mercury that's involved. It's like we still need to be very open to messages and using that in accordance to Mars, like I've said a million times, to turn inward, receive our messages, cultivate and perfect them, and change our mental outlook on things, change the mental strategies that we worked with for a long time, retire our old way of thinking so that we can move forward into building the new world. But a very good time to work on mentally projects that require a lot of mental energy. All right. Moving on, I have two more things I want to say real quick. One is just that the moon's in Leo today, so that means Leo's a fixed sign, so that means it's going to be square to Uranus and opposite Saturn. So those are just things when the moon is squaring Uranus and opposite Saturn, it can create different effects on us internally in our feeling, internal emotional bodies. So I just wanted to address that real quick. Moon square Uranus, that's shocks and surprises and upsets generally, but the degree that it will occur for the moon is 9 Leo, and that's glass blowers shaped beautiful vases with their controlled breathing. So with that and square to Uranus, I'm saying be gentle today, and also just like watch for breaking things, like things suddenly slipping out of your hands and breaking, or just like tripping and breaking, falling. Just try to maybe be a little extra gentle today, and like I said, watch out for like accidentally, surprisingly breaking things, just because the moon will be at the glass blowers shaped beautiful vases degree, and there's a square and it's Uranus, shocks and surprises. So just something to keep in mind. Secondly, Uranus opposes Saturn. That will be the moon will be at 11 Leo, Saturn is 11 Aquarius. Generally, that transit makes you feel a little emotionally cold and distant, more critical and self-critical and detail-oriented. And because of the degree where this is at, it's occurring, the moon will be at 11 Leo, and that's children play on a swing hanging from the branches of a huge oak tree. So, like, I'm thinking also that you might want to just be a little careful of being like overly harsh or overly disciplinarian, like to both yourself and people around you and your own children, just because with the aspect of the children at play on a swing, that's just kind of like carefree fun, and Saturn's opposing that, so it kind of might make you want to like clamp down on that feeling a little bit. But really the remedy for this would be to kind of more focus on fun and focus on the inner child and embracing it and trying not to let that type of thing kind of like irk you today, because with Saturn opposite that degree, you might just not really have patience for much. So just something to keep in mind. Finally, I just want to note real quick that we have Venus coming into conjunction with the Sun. I believe that happens tomorrow. And when we have our Venus-Sun conjunction every year, that is a day of just creativity and love and beauty and all the like wonderful, beautiful, creative, amazing things in life, kind of a day to pamper yourself and just do things that make you feel good. And I also want to say this will be a big day for money. I would definitely watch what's going on globally with the markets and stuff like that, because with money, markets, metal, crypto, all of that, because Venus rules money, and with the Sun conjunction, that really lights that aspect of Venus up as well as the other ones. But the main reason I'm saying this is because the conjunction will happen within 3 degrees of the planet or the asteroid Chiron, which is the planet that rules money mainly, and so it rules wealth. And so with Venus conjuncting the Sun conjuncting Chiron, that's adding a lot of light to both the planets that rule wealth, money, markets. And Uranus is in Taurus. And Uranus is working towards Venus's purpose right now. Venus is with Chiron and the Sun. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some surprises, Uranus and Taurus, around money and that, just money and markets and cryptos, precious metals, and currencies. on, I think it's tomorrow. I think the conjunction is tomorrow. But that's what I have for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and got a little something out of it that can help you as you go about your day. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my astrological outlook for Thursday. Have a really wonderful day. See ya. Thanks for watching.